And welcome to Nerd Stalker. I am Adolfo Ferranda at Nerd Stalker on Twitter with my partner again.
Greg Vlory, AK Social Greg on Twitter. So how's things going, dude? It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. Doing good, thanks, man. Just got back from Vegas with the family. A lot of
Yeah,
fun.
nice.
Not much
Nice.
sin, but a lot of fun.
Fun, no sin. I'm
Yeah,
not sure
yeah,
that works very well in Las Vegas, but
yeah,
I'll
man.
trust you on that. I'll trust you on that.
So much news. Hey, have you seen this? I don't know much about the. I know it's not on the slate or anything. The
Yeah.
Amazon phone. I should have talked to you about that. Do you know anything about this thing? I haven't
No,
looked much into
no,
it.
I was just kind of. I mean, I read a little bit about it, but I mean, it
Yeah, me
sounds kind
neither.
of interesting, but they just, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not too excited about it, but it
It sounds
sounds
like a
interesting.
shopping portal phone,
Yeah.
but yeah,
That's what we need is another phone to get us to
yeah.
Amazon.com.
I saw some like a scrolling with one hand tilting features and stuff like that. But
I mean,
anyways, we're not
yeah,
going to
that's
waste your
kind of
time. If
neat.
you guys are
Okay,
interested in the
that's
Amazon
fine.
phone,
All
go
right.
go Google that thing.
Yeah, let me lead you in, man. So the first one, that's kind of interesting. In a stunning verdict, the Supreme Court has tossed out a patent because it's a software patent. They never do that.
Yeah, this is super crazy. So it turns out the Supreme Court and the federal court, federal circuit court, I should clarify, really don't see eye to eye when it comes to patent stuff. So in a stunning verdict from Cory Doctorow, thanks for this from Boing Boing. There's gonna be a
Mm.
whole lot of Boing Boing today. The Supreme Court has tossed out this patent because it is a software patent, ruling that merely requiring generic computer implementation fails to transform that abstract idea into a patent eligible invention, unquote. That is, adding, quote, with a computer, unquote, doesn't does not make it a new patentable invention. So this is huge, and not because of what it says about whether software is patentable in America, but because of how it escalates the turf war between the Supreme Court and the Federal Circuit,
Whoa.
which is the nation's patent court. So this is sort of a historic problem that they've sort of had with each other. And traditionally, these federal circuit courts and federal courts in general, and lower level courts, always sort of, bow to the decision of the Supreme Court. And and this federal circuit court is not doing so. There's even been talk lately about doing away with the federal circuit court altogether,
Oh my
because
God,
of,
that's
of
pretty big.
all this kind of stuff. So there's precious little expert analysis of the new judgment online, apparently, but you can go check out the Software Freedom Law Center for this. There have been rumors about the Federal Circuit being abolished or having jurisdiction over patents yanked as the turf war was heated up. Federal Circuit judges have a reputation for being ideologically biased towards patents as a matter of course, wanting to use patents to solve every problem. It's classic regulatory capture, is what they say. Patent judges tend to start life as patent lawyers. It's huge, and are improperly chummy with the white shoe lawyers who appear before them.
Oh
So,
wow.
you
Oh,
know,
that's big. I mean, if they get rid of a circuit court, God, there'll be a lot of people out of jobs, a lot of lawyers out of jobs.
yeah, and well, if these judges are effectively, former patent lobbyists or employees, or excuse me, pro-patent lobbyists or employees, then they suddenly become judges. The system's been co-opted, right?
Absolutely. Gosh, So, well, some of these little machines are about to break sooner or later, and so I like to see it sooner than later.
Yeah.
So,
All right, Greg, we're getting into Harley Davidson first
oh, I
electric
love
motorcycle.
motorcycles. Yes, let's just get let's do the right thing and try to do the right screen share here. I know I kind of screw up
Yahoo!
with this little stuff, but uh,
There's me.
all right, yeah, thank you. Uh, let's try this again. Nope. All right. Obviously,
So you
obviously.
can forefinger up. There you go.
Yeah, I
Go to
know.
your other
Let me
screen,
four finger out. Sorry.
and then
There we go. All
there you
right.
go.
Okay, let's give it the forefinger, not the middle finger. Okay.
There you go.
Anyway, yeah. Anyway, Harley Davidson announced this week, yesterday, actually, the first electric motorcycle into their line, which actually,
That's right.
and thanks to Alex Davies of Wired for this one, they actually took it for a test drive. It's not gonna set the world on fire, and it isn't gonna make those potato sounds, sounds, but it is a shift for a really an American brand, and that it's a it has a lot of the kind of the novelty of the biker here in this United States, but coming out with a uh, electrical vehicle like a two-wheel motorcycle is pretty big for them. So
Yeah, this is huge. I think this seems to sort of validate the whole electric technology for vehicles on a sort of on a mass consumer level, right?
yeah. I mean, they have competitors like Zero and Brahmo, which is out there already. But I
You're
think
talking like niche players or something like that. This really validates when you get a huge name like Harley Davidson
absolutely.
interested in the electric
You
vehicle
know,
market.
it's not going to set the world on fire with its specs. It only has 53 miles driving range, so it's a city bike.
Hmm.
I would call it a city bike, but that's cool. I think a lot of urban people will want these type of things anyway, young
Hmm.
urban professionals. So I think it's a good start. I applaud Harley for taking that step forward and recognizing that it could do something cooler than besides just get another chrome and metal bike out there. So
And let's not say young, because Harley Davidson's demographic tends to be primarily
that's true.
middle-aged
Yeah,
guys.
and actually, maybe it's a good move for them that maybe it'll actually widen their demographic, like you said.
Perhaps, yeah.
That's a good point. Good point, man. I like that. So anyway, let me go lead you into the next one. If I could just get my sheet back here on my iPad. So what's this about former FCC Commissioner of Washington? You should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah, so he's Michael Copps, the former FCC commissioner, has publicly really shamed Congress and the FCC for the state of internet access across America, which he called insanity, saying that America's political class should be ashamed of themselves. Copps was speaking at a DC event examining the Telecommunications Act of 1996, which created the short-lived practice of requiring American telecom operators to share their lines with new entrants. Remember that? Allowing many competing DSL providers to flourish. Unfortunately, this practice ended in 2005 and led to today's situation in which most Americans have zero, one, or two broadband options. Um, so he's saying effectively, whose internet anyways, and whose democracy is it anyways?
Mm,
This is really awful. The situation that we're in now, where the control of like media eventually is becoming concentrated to basically an oligopoly like type situation where the internet is supposed to be this free, open sort of bastion for people to gain knowledge and do whatever they want to do to some extent.
yeah, I wonder what the EFF thinks about that. I have an article coming up that we're going to talk about, but I wonder, I don't know. I just, I don't know. I lose a lot of faith in government when it comes to these type of things.
Yeah, it's a bummer, man. But they're supposed to be acting in your favor. He's saying there's never been a more urgent need for legislators and regulators, to make moves to protect consumers, and I think that's really what we're lacking right now. It seems like
Yeah.
federal government is assisting big money at this point and not really protecting consumers. It's unfortunate, this trend.
Yeah, I think it's also, I heard a lot of things about that kill switch going on here in California too
Mm,
for the mobile
mm.
phones. And they said it's all kind of screwed up actually.
Yeah,
What
man.
was a good idea ended up being kind of screwed now. So, but
Hmm.
anyway, we'll talk about that a little later. But
So Greg, tell us
yes.
about what's going on with Adobe. They've made a bunch of announcements this week.
Oh man. So here's kind of the cool one. So thanks to let's see, who do we thank today? I don't know. Sorry, Gizmodo. FastCoDesign. Yeah, Mark Wilson, FastCoDesign for this one. So Adobe's big plan to infiltrate your creative apps. So remember when there was this pissing contest between Adobe and Apple? Remember that all that
Yeah,
whole
that's
thing or
right. It was
whatever.
over Flash. Uh-huh.
Yeah, right, over Flash. Well,
Yeah. It wasn't
what
much of a
no,
contest. It was kind of
no,
one
not much
contest.
of a contest, but the Trojan horse appears again. So,
Mm.
so anyway, what's reported, the major update to the Creative Cloud app, which is kind of cool for
Yeah.
Adobe, actually includes an SDK, which is really kind of cool. So it'll allow third-party developers to embed Adobe technologies
Oh,
that you
nice.
find in Photoshop or Illustrator
Mm.
and put it into your app.
Very cool.
So yeah, what about After Effects app in Vine or something like that?
Right, sure. Or
Or
Photoshop and Instagram. Yeah.
exactly,
Right.
exactly. So this is kind of big. I think that it's something that you know, I didn't end up sharing the screen yet, did I?
No, no,
Yeah.
but that's fine. I think we get the gist of it.
Yeah. So I think that look for
Yeah,
some
you can do
big
a lot
things
with
out of
that.
this,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's massive
right?
because with Creative Cloud, you get the whole full suite. Typically, if you got the whole shebang of
Right.
Adobe products, so you're talking everything from Lightroom to Photoshop, as you mentioned,
Have you
to
tried that yet?
Dreamweaver. Yeah, I
Oh,
have,
really? Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
Uh, I'm not the craziest about that thing.
Mm,
Perhaps I'm old school or something, but I like having my. I mean, you do have local software installed, but there's always this
yeah.
weird connectivity thing where you have to
Okay.
log in, and then sometimes it disconnects you. But anyways,
So it would be good on
I do.
like maybe a one of those ultrabooks or laptops. I mean, or tablets or
I
something like
think
that.
the jury's out, in terms of
Mm,
what this can provide, because it's
yeah.
hard to imagine, like, after I said it, Instagram with Photoshop right on your phone, like how, unless there's some sort of really stripped down you're just picking at particular features in a mobile
Well,
friendly type of way.
that's what actually that's what they said. You can actually
Okay.
pick out a
Okay.
certain feature. So,
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
the magic wand feature maybe in Photoshop is a better analogy or something like that.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
cut out the object a little bit faster or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's so many opportunities here
Yeah.
for creative types, and you smart entrepreneurs, get on
Hey,
it.
and that's one of the things we do. We do believe in design here at Nerd Stalkers.
Yeah, yeah. And entrepreneurialism. Try saying that 100
And then
times
let's
fast.
get to that next article. So the next one is for you. Al Gore tells techpreneurs some truths that they may not want to hear about
Yeah.
inequality. Huh?
Yeah, so he recently gave a talk, and I'd like to thank David Sirota of Pando Daily for this, and on Alternet. So Gore's, warning people in general this sort of thing that I've been kind of worried about for a while, where I'm seeing more and more of the, improvement in productivities, or whatever, if you can call it that, due to technologies, as a reduction in job numbers and things like that. But not only
Mm,
that, the profits from a lot of these, the trends of startups and tech companies seem to be going to a higher income. It's going to, the majority of it is going to the 1%. Really, is what's happening here. And with this trend of, you know um, companies that are being very productive, can do with fewer workers or something like that. It's potentially
mm.
tipping democracy. It's threatening democracy, really. So the details is germane to Gore's point about charity and democracy. He's also saying that a lot of these tech companies, like Facebook, recently donated 120 million to the public schools of San Francisco. Um, these public institutions become more and more dependent on this type of private money from companies, and therefore these companies can sort of have leverage power and say in a lot of things, which is a potential threat to democracy.
Well, I'll let you get some water, but well, our model here in California is a little bit different, right? Because of uh, the we don't have a property tax base that supports our schools very well, right? So we have to like go to things like
Right.
the
That's
lottery,
huge. Yeah, yeah.
right?
Proposition 13
Right.
here in California has
Yeah,
decimated this state. Yeah.
yeah, and maybe that type of model is a boon. Maybe with all these budget cuts going on in Sacramento, maybe this isn't a bad model to at least supplement and things. But I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
I understand what they're saying, but
Yeah, yeah.
this
So
is
one of
not.
the really,
Yeah.
germane point is that they said, indeed, there seems to be a trend of billionaires and tech firms making private donations to public institutions, ostensibly with the goal of improving public services. Yet many of these billionaires are absent from efforts to raise public resources for the same institutions. Zuckerberg is only one example. For instance, hedge funders make big donations to charter schools, yet the hedge fund industry lobbies against higher taxes that would generate new revenue for education. Likewise, there are the Koch brothers, as some people know, Koch brothers, who simultaneously finance the nationwide anti-tax movement while making huge donations to public institutions. Meanwhile, Microsoft boasts about making donations to schools, while the company has opposed proposals to increase taxes to fund those schools. So you're seeing the 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 dichotomy in this whole thing. So to understand the conflict between democracy and this kind of philanthropy, remember that private donations typically come with conditions about how the money must be allocated. In education, those conditions can be anything from curriculum to testing standards to school structure. No matter what the conditions are, though, they effectively circumvent the democratic process and dictate policy to public institutions. While those institutions can reject a private donor's money, they are often desperate for resources, right? So it's sort of a vicious cycle that undermines the whole democratic control. So big money interests use anti-democratic campaign finance laws to fund anti-tax policies that deprive public institutions of resources. Those policies make public institutions desperate for private resources, as mentioned below, before. So, it's disruption theories, but, disruption theory is usually the defense of all this, the hypothesis being that billionaire cash is the only way to force public institutions to do what they supposedly need to do. But whether or not you believe that theory, Gore is correct. It isn't democratic and quiet. In fact, it's quite the opposite. So a really interesting article. I definitely recommend all of you to read it and sort of, I can see both sides of this,
Absolutely.
So check it out at alternate.org. We'll post it here again on the site at nerdstalker.com. So Greg, man, EFF, tell me more. What are they up to?
Thanks to Mika Singleton, we always love his articles from Gizmodo. So the Electronic Frontier Foundation, can you see my screen there?
Got it.
Wants to make your router public. Isn't that kind of cool? The EFF has a piece of software. Yeah. So anyway, the Electronic Frontier Foundation is planning to release software that will allow you to turn a portion of your router into public Wi-Fi hotspot. It's pretty cool, actually. The kicker is they say it will make your router more secure. So get this. The move of OpenWireless.org campaign is to make free Wi-Fi available to everyone everywhere. The EFF will release firmware that allow you to section off a portion of your bandwidth and make it publicly available. And you will choose how much bandwidth you want to give up through a smartphone optimized website. That's what they say. So it's possible that. So how is it possible that opening up your Wi-Fi can make it more secure? So the staff attorney, Nate Cardozo, I think I've talked to him before at other places. He says that your IP address is not your identity. Your identity is not your IP address. So open wireless makes mass surveillance and correlation of person with IP more difficult. And that's good for everyone. So if everyone runs open Wi-Fi, there's no real argument that anyone is being negligent by doing so. So it's flipped the argument on top of its head.
Wow.
So I think what they're trying to do is to say that, okay, if everyone does this, then there's really no need to monitor who's doing it and who isn't doing it. I mean, it's kind of an interesting argument. I don't know if it's a good idea or not. I mean, and the fact that a organization like EFF could release software and to help move its platform forward is really kind of interesting. Actually, I think that's the more interesting thing to me.
Yeah.
That a nonprofit could actually release software and try to move its foundation or its platform forward. I mean that's kind of the cool thing, I think, and that's what developing software these days has gotten down to, where you don't need these 10 million experts. I mean, you need expertise, but of course it's a little bit easier to do it these days than it was 15 years ago, right? So anyway,
yes, this makes me wonder if the Comcast and the AT&T, sort of in the prior article that we talk about, where the former FCC commissioner says shame on Congress, if those institutions, Verizon, AT&T, et cetera, Comcast, would somehow maybe have some sort of line in their terms of use saying, you can't share the bandwidth we're giving you, essentially, that you're paying for, right? In this type of capacity, sort of like as they do with your mobile plans now, right? If that isn't already there. What's nice about this is it brings it to the forefront again, so that the public, can look at it and scrutinize it and perhaps criticize or protest these. The government or these companies.
Very good point, Adolfo, because I think maybe this is their strategy of smoking these guys out,
Right. And keep the dialogue going, yeah. I mean, that's
Yeah,
important.
so maybe that's a strategy. We should talk to someone at DFF about this. It's kind of neat, actually. But this will get really complicated if AT&T and T and Verizon decide to give money to schools, huh?
Yeah, yeah. But there was another company that was doing something similar to this called Meraki back in the day. Was doing these mesh network things where I used to have one too. You hook it up to your router, and they sort of connect, right? And then you get this sort of quote unquote free bandwidth as well, type of thing. So that's neat.
Well, I
Doing
mean,
spirit.
I guess it's just a little bit different because it's public, because
Yeah.
it's not under the control of your, you could turn your AT&T phone into a hotspot, right? And
True.
share with people, right?
Yeah.
But
If
they're
if
saying
you have the plan, right, to do that
if you
legally.
have the
Yeah,
plan.
legally.
That's right. Okay.
Speed round.
Speed round.
That's
Oh,
it.
yeah,
That's
I
the
miss doing that. I
yeah,
really miss.
yeah. Those are like the level of our sound effects now.
I know. Exactly.
Big budget.
Anyway, Fablab, a free game that creates 3D printable toys. I love maker stuff. Go for it, man.
Yeah, let me know when you see my desktop. Do you see it?
No, yeah.
Anything? Anything?
Anything
Let's
for
see.
you.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't. Apparently not. Let's see.
Anything
Share
for you.
technology. Sharing technology. Start screen. Bub. How about now?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
beautiful. All right. So thanks to Boing Boing again and Corey Doctorow, his wife, and we've talked about these guys before. Makey Labs, Fablab. Now they released something called Fablab, a free game that creates 3D printable toys. Yes. So let's play this lovely little video here again. And so what they've done is they've done this. So Mickey's, the 3D printed toy company, has launched this Fablab, an inaugural game where you can create your own lab, create your own dolls, create their own clothes, and really, really great thing. And then eventually, this is available for iOS. Here you can see it designing the clothes, building your own labs, as I mentioned, and it's available now. So check it out, and then you can even pump out a doll, for your kids. Or whatever. They can do it themselves, and then order a doll. Totally cool.
I love it. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me go. Yeah, if I'm speedy enough here. Hold on a sec. Let me get the desktop shared. Sorry, and I'm not that speedy, so sorry about that. Anyway, hey,
Sure.
Logitech releases a CD drive to copy songs from your CDs to smartphones. I didn't think this was like technologically interesting, but I thought it was interesting that now technology is trying to move into the new technology, right? So like you have all your CDs.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
We had vinyl that had to get copied onto tape. We had tape now that had to get copied on CDs. Now we have CDs that get copied on phones.
Yeah.
So anyway,
this is great for us old timers, right? Who
Exactly.
have a monster collection of these things.
Exactly. So that's why I thought it was kind of cool. And so Logitech announced the release of a CD drive called the LDV PMH8U2R. So this is a very Japanese product. They always use numbers. Anyway, that allows you to rip songs from your CDs to Android smartphones or TELUS directly. So it's going to be released in Japan for about so about $70 US, and it allows you to go directly on your smartphone. Now the question is that legal? I guess it is legal if it only goes into your phone, right? If you go into someone else's phone, you can't.
I suppose, yeah. I suppose you own the CD. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, but it allow you to copy a CD with 16 minutes worth of music in 5 minutes. I thought that was good. And three installing options. You get a HQ, regular audio quality, and just minimum capacity use. If you want to just kind of like get a simple file and just listen to it quickly. So
Nice.
Anyway,
Speed round.
yeah, speed round.
Nice. So, Boing Boing, Corey Doctorow again. Aaron Schwartz documentary, The Internet's Own Boys, available now for Creative Commons license pre-order today. It's also, it's you can stream it on the internet, I believe. Yeah, I think Vimeo's selling it, and you can find it. So go check it out. I think you can download it actually for free too, or stream it now. So here you go. Go check it out. Buy it on Vimeo. It's the story of Aaron Schwartz. As you all know, had took his own life due to several different factors. A lot of people are thinking it was government pressure. A lot of the stuff that was happening.
Sucks, man.
To a lot of this stuff. So, anyways, check it out, people.
Okay.
Interesting story.
Cool.
Speed round.
See round. So Google's Nest acquires video monitoring startup called Dropcom for 555 million. So thanks to Kelsey Campbell Dolligan from Gizmodo for this one. So just today, it was announced that Nest is in the midst of acquiring that video monitor startup just to get into the home game, I guess. You know,
Oh,
you
wow.
might call that. Yeah. So it's kind of cool. Um, so so anyway, I think it's something that we want to monitor, but it looks like they're expanding their web, and you know, Nest is kind of that cool startup that allows you to control things in your house. So I think it's just the Internet of Things continue to move, my friend. So anyway, check that article out in Gizmodo or Gigome. It's all over the place right now. So anyway, speed round.
Sweet. Yeah, man. So now we talk about Gyro Bike. So thank you to Gizmag for this one, Nick Lavars. Gyro Bike was initially just a wheel that was sort of to teach you throw onto your bike, your kid's bike, to learn how to ride a bike. Now they've released an entire bike. So what this wheel does is sort of a counterbalance, right? So it has a little motor in it, which acts as a gyroscope, sort of, so that a kid who's never learned to ride a bike
That's neat.
for their first time
That
can
is so
ride on
cool.
this thing, and think of it as a lopsided ball, right? See, so that's it. The video of it, hopefully you're seeing it going by,
That's cool.
riding by itself without even anyone on it.
I love
Now it does things. They've enhanced this thing by offering sound on it, like a bird sounds and all kinds of stuff with a remote control. So it's a fantastic option for a child to not even have to use training wheels anymore. They can just get on this thing and start learning, you know, getting the feel of the bike, and then you can reduce the amount of gyro help of the wheel itself, the bike itself, and then and they will be riding it by themselves. So no more falling down, no more scrapes and tears and things like that. These guys have provided a fantastic product here. So check out Gyro Bike. I believe there's a Kickstarter for the bike itself now. I believe the wheels, the old wheels, are actually selling still, and for different size bikes for your kids.
OMG, man, that's cool.
Pretty sweet, huh?
Yeah, it is cool. Wow, excellent. Okay, I'm already on mine.
Cool.
So drones are now banned in every national park in America. So I think you've seen my
Wow.
screen there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard a lot of these complaints from people, and what was very interesting is that they banned them completely today. The sweeping ban. So any launching, landing, or operating unmanned aircraft on lands and waters administered by the National Park Service is strictly prohibited. I think but for administrative uses, like safety, saving people, you'll hear drones, but I think it's just I think the FAA needs to just figure out this drone
And
thing.
in every national park, that's so crazy, because it's sort of it's a hobbyist type thing.
Absolutely. I mean,
I
those
wonder if quadcopters, are those considered drones too?
I don't
wonder.
know. I mean,
Yeah.
technically, hobby purposes they allow it these days, but for commercial purposes they don't. So
I wonder what the rationale is behind this, the threatening animals or disturbing
Yeah,
their...
no. Yeah. So here's a story here.
That makes sense, I suppose.
So in April, visitors at the Grand Canyon National Park gathered for a quiet sunset, which is interrupted by a loud unmanned aircraft flying back and forth, eventually crashing into the canyon. That's pretty funny. And later in the month, volunteers at Zion National Park witnessed an unmanned aircraft disturb a herd of bighorn sheep, reportedly separating the adults from the young animals. Don't disturb the sheep, my friends. Don't disturb the sheep. So I think that's the reason.
Wow.
So anyway.
Cool. Speed round.
What do you have there next?
So I got the Hyundai, you always help me with this one, Tucson fuel cell hits California roads with free hydrogen, thanks to Gizmag on this one. So instead of selling the Tucson fuel cell outright, this fuel cell vehicle, this hydrogen fuel cell vehicle, Hyundai is providing the cars under a 36-month term lease agreement with $3,000 down and $500 per month. The clever bit is that Hyundai picks up the cost of the hydrogen fuel and provides it to its customers free of charge. As an inducement, while the company develops its refueling network. In addition, the leasee will get Hyundai's At Your Service Valet Maintenance program, where a faulty vehicle is picked up by a Hyundai dealer who provides a loaner with no charge while repairs are made. So this is like a California type initiative right now, and they selected, as we know, you're seeing some photos of it here. The hydrogen fuel cell technology has been highly touted and is very effective. I mean, it just spits out water effectively as your exhaust, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And you just haven't seen widespread release of this type of technology, unfortunately, which could be very beneficial as an alternative, option versus electric, which needs nuclear, etc. There's an abundance of hydrogen that we could potentially be using.
There's a big argument on the carbon footprint for a lot of these other alternative technologies, and fuel cell is supposed to be pretty good, actually. So we'll see how that goes. Wow, I'm impressed. I am totally impressed. Wow. Okay.
Tip time.
Tip time. Okay. Well, I have my tip there. I'm frustrated a lot of times. You know me. I get frustrated, right?
As we can see by his screen sharing technology.
Yeah.
No,
I get very frustrated
by
the
cucumber.
Yes. Okay. Let me get it here. But anyway, those people who have multiple Google accounts will just love me for this. But I guess I gotta share the freaking screen first before you get to love me about this even more.
MailPlane.
Yeah, I know, MailPlane. But anyway, I want to turn you on to MailPlane, which allows you to manage multiple Gmail accounts, which I know all of us do. So really, the Gmail account is really inaccurate, as we know. There isn't that many users, right? There's only about 2. No, anyway.
This is cool.
So if you have a Mac, this is available on Mac, and you could just on OS X 10.7 and above, and allows you to manage. Let me bring that screen up.
Multiple Gmail accounts.
Hey, there's my Nerd Soccer Media, Japantown Task Force,
cool.
and also calendars as well. So
nice,
check it out. It is a subscription, $24.99. But
are you liking it?
Yeah, so far I've tried it for a little bit here. I haven't really gave it a full tour yet, but I'll try to give an update via a review probably a little later. But
excellent.
I need something that allows me to do this because I have to constantly keep on logging in, logging out. Now it doesn't work, I believe, with apps like Google Docs, so it's only for Gmail and calendar management. So, but check it out. I think it isn't bad. It allows you to get at least on one screen, and you can do that from you can load it on any Mac, actually, so that you own. So it's kind of cool. And they have a family plan in case your other kids and other things, other people in your household will want to get this and share calendars and all that stuff. So
nice, man.
Cool. Yeah. Anyway, let's get to yours. What's going on with yours?
So let's see if I can get it too here. Boosh and boom. So thanks to Alex Young from dailyjs.com, Google released Google's Web Starter Kit. So Web Starter Kit is a licensed Apache 2.0 from Google. It's a boilerplate for developing responsive websites. So your web developers should really give this a go. It's really interesting alternative to something like Bootstrap. Twitter Bootstrap, if you guys know that. Google's a boilerplate for developing responsive websites. It supports multiple devices, has a gulp.js build script, and support for synchronizing pages across devices during testing. So if you're a Node developer, then you might like the gulp.js based environment. Typing gulp will build you know what gulp does, you developers out there, and uses Google's page speed insights. Sync feature for testing is powered by the browser sync. So if you're wondering why Node Ruby project comes out of Google, then you just look at the Google people. It's Andio Osmani and Sindre Sorhos, just like Yeoman people again. So check it out. Let's see. Let me get to the Google. So here it is. Really slick. It's free. You can get the the beta download kit here. A lot of information. Looks very slick. I'm sure this here is probably using it itself. So I think this is a really viable option for a web developer who's probably creating a site for maybe a small company or a friend or something like that. You should really give it a go. This is really neat. Out of the box, quick go solution.
So I I'm not a designer like my big friend here, Adolfo, but does this replace things like Verb and those other website creators, or what?
Well, not necessarily, because it's not like a hosted solution. It's what it is
Mm.
it's you're doing this sort of locally, and then you could throw it up on some sort of host type of
Oh,
thing.
I
But
see.
what it does, it lets you just sort of like instead of having to worry about multiple different devices and things like that, you have this all-in-one sort of package where you get it all. There's minimal overhead to getting going as a developer, to design the website, and
Mm.
then you can just throw this on a host and you're good to go.
Wow. Wow, that is pretty interesting. So it's a little bit different is that you actually could design it locally just like you do any other website and then
Yeah,
move it up rather quickly, is what you're
yeah,
saying.
with a big head start, would
Yeah,
be the plus of this guy.
right, which I like. Right.
Yeah, man. So what's
Okay.
coming up, man, in terms of events and stuff, huh?
Well, the Belgians are coming to town at SF New Tech. That's on the 26th. I mean, SF New Tech's been on fire. I think they've had a something going on every week this month. So,
Yeah. Whew,
yeah,
Miles.
I missed the Web Tech. I don't know. I don't know if you went to that one,
Oh, the
but
wedding thing? No, I
yeah,
missed
the
that one
Web Tech.
too.
Yeah. So, I think the Belgians are coming back for their third or fourth straight year,
Hmm.
and we'll see the best of Belgian tech, web tech. So catch it at Mighty 119 Utah Street on the 26th, which is Thursday. Odd day. It's usually on Wednesdays for.
Oh, it's a Thursday.
Um,
Cool.
yeah, so catch them. 5:30 doors open. 7:30 is the pitch starts. So,
Excellent. All right. So we'll have some other events to mention too
yeah,
eventually here. We're talking
yeah.
to some people that we will talk about perhaps next week or something like that. But in the meantime, you can find us at nerdstalker.com, at nerdstalker on Twitter. Go to our YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/nerdstalker TV. And all over the place. iTunes, audio, whatever. Check us
And
out.
how can they get hold of you, my friend?
You can get a hold of me by emailing me adolfo@nerdstalker.com or at a Ferronda. That's, you can see down here below. It's the letter A and then my last name, Ferronda.
Yeah,
How about you,
yeah.
Greg?
Spell it correctly, by the way, too. I've seen your name spelled many
Oh
different ways.
gosh, yeah,
And
many
get a hold of me
variations.
at socialgreg@nerdstalker.com. Email me, or you can reach me on my Twitter. Let's see.
Yeah, there it is.
um, at social Greg at social Greg, and I respond anyway at DMs or whatever. I guess you have to follow me if it's a DM, but yeah, go ahead and just message me. I'm cool with that. So.
Yeah, and check out Greg's latest interviews. He's got a lot of awesome content that he's been pumping up on Nerdstalker, so check it
Oh
out.
yeah, we got Microsoft. The last one was Microsoft talking about their Idea Lab. So yeah, check
Yeah,
that
yeah,
out.
yeah. Next week I'll be talking to, I forgot to mention too,
Who's
Jake
that?
Stroh, and forgive me if
Jake
I'm
Stroh.
butchering his name.
Really?
He is the instructor
Yeah.
at lynda.com.
Yeah.
Again,
Jake's a
he's
great
got
guy.
a new release that we will be discussing. So
Ooh,
for you
I
people.
better hit my friend Nick up then.
Yeah,
I gotta keep up with this guy.
that's right. Definitely.
Excellent. No, it's good. Okay. Well, anyway, yeah, let's close out the show. And hey,
Yeah,
this is I'm Greg Laurie, aka Social Greg on Twitter for the Nerd Soccer Media Network, and you are.
I am me. So thanks for watching, everyone, and
Right.
listening out there.
Yeah, we believe in tech stars, design, and you. Gotta
All
remember
right.
that.
So long, everyone.
So long.